start spreading the news.
Good afternoon. My name is Karim and this is Isabel. We're members of the Rare Food Council and we're going to show you our garden today.
Welcome to our garden. We love butterflies, we love tropical fruits, we love tropical flowers.
All right. Okay, we moved into this house in 1988. It was just built, and there were only 4 trees on the property. It was 2 queen palms and 2 maple trees. Well, since then, the queen palms have died, and the maple trees are still here. Down here below is the Australian beach cherry, which gives us a little red berry. It does well in the partial shade. Over here we have a June plum, which is also known as ambarella. It's a delicious fruit. It has a spiny seed. Up here is the flower. So while it's fruiting down below, it has new growth at the top. It's a dwarf tree and it's very useful. Okay, throughout the property we have a lot of native plants. Over here is a porterweed, which attracts butterflies. We have several of those on the property. Right behind it is the Monstera deliciosa right here, which is fruiting. It takes about a year for the fruit to mature, and it's an edible fruit. And just above it is an orchid.
The Vendas.
It's a Vendas, correct.
And we mentioned butterfly. We love butterflies and they're beautiful, and we have this bush which attracts butterflies too, the Pride of Barbados, and they're blooming right now. We have those pretty pink-red flowers and the yellow one in the back. Actually on the left there is a butterfly flying by there. And the variety of butterfly too, they love the kunti. If you look down this way, the kunti plants right there on the floor. They love to sleep. That's their sleeping habitat. Yeah. There's the zebra, the monarchs, the yellow one. Ciguet, they love the ciguet too.
Some of them are so big they're like birds. This is the entrance to our backyard. We're going to follow the path, and we're going to enter the tropical fruit collection, where we have over 80 tropical fruit trees. This is the potting area where I grow a lot of seedlings and cuttings, but around it we have a carambola, a Sri Kambangan carambola, and a macadamia nut, naseberry, Malay apple. You can see the sun still filtering through, so there's a little bit of sun. It's about 4 o'clock now. So a lot of the trees are very tall. They're looking for sunlight. So sometimes people joke, they say my garden is bark to bark. But at any rate, I managed to plant and still get them to bear fruit. Speaking of tall trees, we have an ylang ylang at the center of the yard. It produces a very fragrant flower, and at dawn, it really aromatizes the yard. This area here is a little bit open, so birds do come in and fly and go into the vegetation. Right over here we have a newly planted akip lychee. There are palm trees and mangoes around here. As we pan this way slowly, we have a larger mango tree here and some coffees down here. You can see some of the red and yellow beans of the coffee plant. The coffees, they like to be in partial shade, so I have 3 of them there, and they produce coffee beans. We're looking at a traveler palm that was planted about 20 years ago. It produces a lot of pops, but it's very majestic the way it's shaped, and if you cut a branch from it, it will give you water. But it stores water in its branches. From that perspective, you see some of the other fruit trees adjacent and some of the flowering plants, like frangipani, and carambola. And that's a torch ginger. It's got a beautiful waxy looking flower, and it's bright red. And a little bit above, Isabelle is holding a
shaped like a Chinese hat.
there you go.
Okay, go.
This is our fire pit. This is where during winter time we often burn brush and build a fire. But it's kind of the centerpiece of the backyard, and behind it is a banana stalk that fell during the recent storm, and we're letting it ripen. As you can see, the bananas are ready. This is a Gefner Atamoya. It's been producing for about 5 or 6 years. It's of the sugar apple or Annona family. And it's a cross between a sugar apple and a custard apple, and it's quite delicious. It has a little bit of a lemony flavor to it, but it's very similar to a sugar apple.
Hi, we're in the month of October, but usually we plant our vegetables in September, but because of all this rain, we kind of delayed. But anyway, this is our corner where we plant our tomatoes, and we enjoy it very much. We have ugly tomatoes and better boys tomato. This is our favorite spot here that Jean-Philippe and Katrina, our children, and Karim and myself, we love to plant our veggies. Yes, we enjoy also our Scotch bonnet pimento in our cooking. So we have the jalapeno, the Scotch bonnet, and also, of course, besides the collection of pimentos, we use spices in the cooking. We have an allspice tree on the left right here, allspice. We use the leaf, and just like that, and it smells fresh and good. It's good for the cooking, and also lemon bay rum that we use in the cooking.
This is my jaboticaba, which I got from Hopkins Nursery, probably 15 to 20 years ago. It's been bearing fruit for about 5 or 6 years. It does take 8 to 10 years to bear fruit. And the fruit is, it grows right on the bark, right on the trunk of the tree. So it's quite spectacular. It's a black looking berry or cherry, and it's quite delicious. The Barbados cherry fruit, our Barbados cherry is probably 20 years old. It's a true cherry wood. It's a very hard wood, and I really love this tree. It does well in partial shade, and it produces about 3 times a year an abundance of delicious red cherries. The cherries have the highest content of vitamin C of any fruit per gram, and it's a really good tree to have in your backyard. We have 2 sugar apple trees on our property, and this is one of them. I guess one of the late blooms. We still have our fruit on it on October 5th. The fruits usually ripen in July and August. So this is definitely a late one. This is one of my 2 blueberries. I just planted them this year. Blueberries are known to be a northern fruit, but they do grow in Central and South Florida. They need acid soils, and it's recommended they be planted in a pot, so that's what I did. I planted them in whiskey barrels, and I prepared a very acidic soil with a lot of peat and pine needles. So I'm looking forward to my first blueberry.
Beautiful.
Okay, my name is Karim'S. I'm a Rare Fruit Council member of Broward, and today we toured my backyard, and I showed you about 80 tropical fruit trees that I have in my yard. We've been here about 24 years, and we bought the house. There were no fruit trees, and my wife and I planted this collection of tropical fruit trees. In addition to that, we planted a lot of native plants and tropical flowers to attract butterflies and birds. And so it's a true wildlife habitat in our backyard, and we really enjoy it. It's a soothing place to go and take a walk after work and on the weekends. We love our backyard. I heard about the Rare Fruit Council through some plant sales back in the late 1990s, and that's where I met a lot of nice people and decided to join and be involved. And it was really rewarding. I learned a lot about tropical fruits and vegetables, and that's where we are today. My yard is the lot of where my house sits. Is 9,500 square feet, so it's just a little bit bigger than the standard lot. And we managed to plant all these tropical fruits, fruit trees on it.